welcome to Wertheim, to my hometown. So my name is Jean and I would like to take you on a journey of one of our bike routes to Freudenberg, a Main, which says already along the Main River. The beautiful tour will take you completely along the little villages and we're going to race our ship. Right now we're standing in front of the historical fortress of Wertheim. I wanted to bring you up here to show you and give you a close-up. You must know my name is Jean and I think I'm the only Jean in town. Jean is not really a German name. I will tell you my story. On one of the villages you're going to pass, my mother lived as a little child, a little farmer's child, a little farmer girl. And you must know we were a very Catholic traditional family. So in my family, every generation, one nun to save the family from their sins. And my great aunt is a nun. She lives in a convent. She's a retired nun today. And Mom used to visit her quite often there. And she said it was so much fun. They were Sister Act nuns and she had so much fun in the convent that it was much more fun, she thought, being a nun than being a farmer's wife. Can you imagine? I think that says a lot about German farming. So Mom had decided to become a nun. So 2 weeks before she left to the convent, my dad's car broke down at the side of the road. You must know it was an old Chevy. Well, Germans don't drive Chevys. He was a US soldier because what you don't see today, the high-rises we have right behind of it, there used to be a military base with 3,000 soldiers plus families till 1992. So his car broke down at the side of the road and Mom saw this and she said, "Oh my God, I have to get out and help the poor man because he can't speak any German at all." So she got out of the car, she looked into his eyes and it made kaboom with her nun plans and kaboom, here I am. To help her English out, she actually watched I Dream of Jeannie. And that's why my name is Jean. And to keep my English up after the base closed down, I started tour guiding. What a coincidence, yes? And so that's why we're here today together. And I'm going to take you on a journey from Wertheim to Freudenberg. Welcome and enjoy the tour. Hello and welcome to Wertheim. You're standing here at one of our ship docking positions in Wertheim along the Main River, and you also will see later the Tauber River comes into the Main here. That's what made Wertheim really worthy. So translated, Wertheim means worthy home, and it is what a worthy home also throughout the medieval days. You must know it was first mentioned in papers around 800 when the fortress was built, 12th century. It was an ongoing business here and people were making towels. Of course, we exported also our stones. And Wertheim is really famous for the glass and metal industry because we have what you need for glass. Already in the 12th century, we had glass hoods in the forest that produced glass already. So our fortress was one of the rare fortresses already with glass windows quite early. So Wertheim also gained its wealth as worthy home, yes, by trade fairing. They took goods from Frankfurt and exported them up to Rothenburg up the Tauber. I'm sure on one of your journeys you will have the chance to come to Rothenburg up the Tauber. It's a fantastic place. And as the second richest town of Germany, they needed a lot. And Wertheim was willing to deliver. So goods were coming from Frankfurt, going to Frankfurt, but mainly coming from Frankfurt and all other places along the medieval highway, which was the Main River, going all up the Romantic Road to Rothenburg up the Tauber, but as well along the Tauber River, which actually ends here in Wertheim and goes into the Main. Yeah? And people say up to 36 ships a day were stopping here in loading and outloading. In the 14th century, the emperor was impressed by the Count of Wertheim and he gave him the right to make mints. So the mint right was given. That means own coins. So we actually, when you come to our historical museum, you can find the Wertheim mark, which was very rare. There were not a lot of coin systems and you could borrow them to others so they were able to use them. Back then that was really modern and fashion because you must know the main currency to that time was wine because it wouldn't rotten. In this early 17th century, The Wertheim counts, through marriage, became the title Prince. So from then on, it was no longer the Count of Wertheim, but the Prince of Löwenstein-Wertheim. And this bloodline still exists today and has one of the bluest bloods of Germany. Yeah? You can Google it and find out more, or ask your tour guide when you go on one of the historical tours in Wertheim. So interesting in Wertheim is also, you must know, nothing was destroyed in the war. Not in the First and in the Second. In the Second World War, we did have American troops coming from over the hills. And we had a great, brave mayor. And he said, I'm going towards the troops with a big white flag. And he did that. He was very brave. He had shaking knees, but he did it. He went up towards the troops with a big white flag. And in town, they got the Humpa Humpa band, the bratwurst booth, and the beer booths out to welcome the soldiers, to show them, you can trust us. We are happy that this war is ended. And so the Wertheim was completely spared, nothing got destroyed, and also the villages along your journey are original, and you will find half-timbered houses and historical houses and castles and little fortresses all the way along the Main River. You will see older fortresses, border fortresses from the 12th century, and yeah, it's amazing. I wish you a great journey, you will love it. So we invite you to race your ship. On the stretch from Wertheim to Freudenberg, we will be completely on a bike path where you can continuously always see your ship. We will pass your ship will pass us. When we have a break in the beer garden, we can see your ship driving by. It's really a lot of fun. And then we see who will be first in Freudenberg and how fit we are. It's 27 kilometers, 17 miles to go. I think we can do this, you can do this. It's a lot of fun. I can really recommend this tour because it takes you completely off the beaten tracks. Non-touristic but beautiful historical sceneries, nature, and also locals in the local beer gardens. We'll make stops to rest, to chat and mingle with the locals. So enjoy your time and welcome to Wertheim once again. So what I want to show you in my hometown Wertheim is actually above my head. You can see the Star of David. It actually looks exactly like a Star of David. And I want to inform you, throughout Germany when you travel, you will see this star on a lot of guest houses and breweries. And this is very important because it's a beer sign. It's 6 steps of brewing beer. It looks the same but has a completely different meaning. And you must know, in former days they didn't have preservatives or ways to preserve. And so when the beer was fresh, the star was hanging out. Beer was not fresh, star was on the wall. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here I wanted to stop because this is my favorite bakery since I'm a little girl. And all my ancestors came here because this house really exists in 1565 and the baker is in 13th generation since 1552. He's one of the most best baker, I would say, in the world, and I have never tried a pretzel in my whole life that is better than the pretzel from Gerd Frischmuth. So let's go in and give him a visit.
Oh, hello, Jean.
Oh, hello, Gerd.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm fine. It's so nice to see you. I would love to introduce you to our guests
Yes.
that are here for the first time in Wertheim in my favorite bakery.
Welcome. My name is Gerd Frischmuth and I'm the owner from Wertheim's oldest bakery, which exists since 1552. We are one of the oldest baker dynasties in Germany. And in each generation, one of the family members worked as a baker. I am now the 13th generation. Today I want to show you how we make the pretzels here in Franconia. We roll the pretzels on a wooden table like this, and then we have 4 steps. Look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a typical Franconian pretzel. I wish you fun when you're in Wertheim. Come by for a pretzel in my house.
So one of the highlights of your tour is actually also something non-historical. You will drive through Bestenheid, the industrial part of Wertheim. And here you will come by factories that are quite famous throughout the world. So one of our biggest producer of fiberglass is Schuler, and actually Schuler no longer exists that way because the owner, he got too old, and actually an American company took over. You may know it, it's called John Mansville. So still one of the biggest fiberglass production here in Bestenheid. So that's the main incoming still today. It started in 12th century, and still today glass and metal is a main income and part of our economy here in Wertheim, and provides the people with jobs. And as you come along your way from Wertheim to Bestenheid, you will see the big factories also for glass and metal, like thermos cans and all kinds of different companies. And as you go and leave Bestenheid, you will take a ride over our old train bridge, which is also very exclusive and a nice scenery. So I would like to make a short stop here to explain to you our red sandstone. As you can see it right behind me here, red sandstone quarries all over the bike path. We are running into them, you can say. The gold of the region here along the Main River banks, you see sandstone quarries all over the place. And these sandstone quarries were so important for our region. It was also one of our big export goods. It's easy to be handled, easy to be chopped out of the hills. Of course, in the 12th century, nobody had dynamite or the tools we have today. So this was really the greatest material to build with in those days. And so we exported it throughout the world. And even a part of the Kremlin in Moscow was built with red sandstone from here. Isn't that amazing? So, wow, now you have half of the stretch, and of course now you need a break. And here we have a break in one of our beer gardens along the riverbanks. Like I said, we're completely riding along the Main River, and here we have this beautiful break and have maybe a beer even, yes, or a water, whatever your heart desires. You can have that here in our lovely typical local beer garden here in Dorf Brutzelten. Also again, one of these little medieval villages along the Main River where you can meet some locals and share your experiences. Yes, a lot of locals do speak English. And this is one of our largest community of sailors. As you can see, there's all these ships here, not like the one you are on, but it's more like, transport ships, yes? Transport for gasoline, but also wheat and crops and things like that. It's very important in Germany, these ships, and also the business with it, because it's the safest and cleanest way to transport our goods. So here I am biking for you in Kollenberg. Kollenberg also dates back to the 12th century. And just so you know, you're in Bavaria now. So the entire stretch, we're going out of Bavaria into Baden-Württemberg, from Baden-Württemberg again into Bavaria. And so this is part of Bavaria and belongs actually to Miltenberg today, which was part of the Prince Bishop of Mainz, yeah? Just so you know. And here we're along the bike path where you see Kollenberg thought about some funny activities also to do in the winter, yeah? To keep us all slim, because you know Bavarians like to drink beer and eat whitewurst. And of course that can go on your hips quite a bit. So here in Kollenberg we have some sporty activities. And when you come here riding through Kollenberg, you will find the families of the little village behind me with only 2,500 inhabitants, picnicking down here, playing ball, walking with their dogs, and of course also bike riding. And here's also our chance again to wait and see if your ship comes by and to continue racing it down to Freudenberg, which of course will be again in Baden-Württemberg, of course. So you see how you're swapping borders back and forth here during your journey. Enjoy and go on. So, ladies and gentlemen, you did it, you survived, you made 27.4 kilometers here to Freudenberg, you chased your ship along the Main, and we end here in lovely Freudenberg, which was founded in the 12th century, as you can see above me. The fortress of Freudenberg. Freudenberg was mentioned in the books first time 1200, and also here the castle is made out of our sandstone, the gold of this region. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, also this little village was part of the Princedom of Wertheim, you can say, of the Countdom of Wertheim, or you call it Countship of Wertheim. And while we are waiting here, you can go to the water trading facility, you can have a nice beer or a coffee at our lovely beer gardens, you can enjoy the scenic area here, you can look up to the fortress of Freudenberg. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our tour, our scenic tour along the river chasing your ship. It was lovely to have you here, and we are looking forward to see you here again. I hope you enjoyed, and we wish you a nice journey on the rest of your cruise. Great tours, great guides, and I hope you have some real nice local experiences, and I wish you safe and good flights home, and I hope to see you again on one of your river cruises. Thank you.